In this lesson, I'm going to talk about one of my favorite apps that I did not want to use in the beginning when I first started, and the app is Wheelio. Yup, it's exactly what you imagined, the spinning wheel that gives visitors a chance to win a discount or a prize if they come onto your website. When I first started dropshipping, I did not want to put this anywhere near my website. It's a good thing that I make decisions based on data, and you should too. Not emotions or preconceived notions, only data. I did a split test with and without Wheelio, and the results spoke for themselves. Both my website conversion rate and overall day-to-day profitability dramatically improved. And this makes a lot of sense with our target conscious strategy. We're going after impulse buyers who are motivated by excitement and opportunity, and what's more exciting than a spinning wheel that gives them a discount? So this is something for you to test. Again, it's entirely niche and audience dependent. If you don't want to use a multivariate or A/B testing app that I covered later in this course, just run your site with the same advertising settings, same creatives for 3 days with Wheelio on, and then 3 days with Wheelio off, and the results will be clear. On top of boosting conversion rate, there's also an added benefit that Wheelio has, which is capturing emails, and something you'll learn really quickly in this course. And as you become an e-commerce entrepreneur, email is king. Emails can be incredibly powerful as a follow-up vehicle when a customer decides to, let's say, abandon your site or abandon checkout and not completed purchase, and also as a source of data for Ad Manager, which I'll cover in the ad strategy section. Now, I use Wheelio on nearly every website that I run. So I'm gonna walk you guys through my Wheelio design and settings. Let's get started. Now that you've heard me discuss why Wheelio is such a powerful app, I'm going to actually quantify the results I just talked about. So you can see this is the Wheelio interface once you've installed the app, and this is on Modern Habitat. And you can see Wheelio was displayed 83,000 times, and we've collected 15,000 emails, and it's only been rejected 543 times out of all the times it's been displayed, for a conversion rate of 18%, which is absolutely phenomenal. And these emails that we've collected, this 15,000 emails, we can use to make custom audiences, lookalike audiences, email them, retarget them on Facebook. The opportunities are endless. So in this lesson, what I'm going to teach you is how to make Wheelio look more appealing, because that's how it normally looks. It looks very scammy. It doesn't look like it's branded. It doesn't look like it has anything to do with the website. And this is why a lot of people have an aversion to using Wheelio. But what I'm going to teach you how to do is set one up that looks like it's been custom coded and actually a part of the website, and something that customers won't hesitate to spin and provide their emails for. The first thing we're going to be customizing is the branded element of Wheelio. So you can see big logo and small logo, and it gives us recommended dimensions as well as a file type. So why don't we just follow these instructions, and this will put a nice logo onto your Wheelio, so customers basically assume that this wheel is not some third-party app, but it's a part of your business. So we've gone to the original logo we've created together, and we're changing the canvas size as instructed, 380 by 80 pixels. And what I'm going to do is select all of the layers from before and just shrink it. And this is a great reminder to save your PSD files, because you never know when you're going to need them again. And right now it's going to be looking a little bit blurry because it's such small pixel count, but don't worry, once it's on Wheelio, it's going to look absolutely perfect. They wouldn't give those recommendations for no reason. Let me just make sure that this thing is centered and it's looking good, because this is what's actually going to show on the wheel. Perfect. And as long as we're within this canvas, let's make this thing as big as possible so it really stands out. Perfect. And it just takes some time to adjust. Awesome. So now what we want to do is just save this as a PNG.
because Wheelio likes it as a PNG. So let's go ahead and do that. Wheelio big logo, and you'll see that PNG is an option here. So whenever you're doing something on Photoshop and you're trying to save it and you can't save it as a PNG, all you have to do is just export it, and there's that quick export as PNG, and you can also go through the long route. So I can just select PNG here, and what I will do is just export it, save it onto my computer for us to plug in. But of course, this is not the only logo that we're going to be making for Wheelio. We're also going to be making a small logo, if you remembered on the screen. So let's go ahead and start doing that. The canvas size for this one is going to be 180 by 180 pixels. And this is basically the logo that actually appears in the center of the wheel that you spin. So we're going to be hiding the text on that one. And we're just going to be making this logo, the symbol, as big as possible to give it that branded feel. So let me make sure that everything is centered over here. Perfect. I think this is looking great. So what we're going to do is just export this as a PNG just like we did the last one, and we'll just call this one the small logo so we can differentiate between the two files as we plug them in. So Wheelio small logo. Perfect. And let's go ahead and plug these in into Wheelio. It's super simple. We just upload the big logo over there and then upload the small logo over here. Perfect. So it's going to be looking a lot better already. Now let's talk about changing some of this text. So there's that title text over here, and this is just basically announcing what the Wheelio is intended for, right? So you can use messaging around luck, around bonuses, around a gift, right? You can call it spin to win. You can make it lucky spinner. Is today your lucky day? And this is something that's super easy to test because you can change this anytime. If you notice this /B's next to the text, that basically is a HTML code for bold. So anything you put in between those /B's is going to be bolded based on the color that we select for bold. And now let's talk about the disclaimer text, right? So the disclaimer text is basically just an explanation of what's going to happen. I usually don't change any of this except for the time duration. The de facto one that you start out with, I believe, is 15 minutes. I made this 30 minutes because I have slightly bigger catalog, right? There's 400 products in Modern Habitat. And also, I just like giving customers a little bit more time with the countdown. Essentially, the discount expires after the countdown goes down to 0. You want to do some testing on this, make sure they have enough time to actually find what they want. And then I've never changed the guiding text at all, but now let's change around the colors. And this is going to be the most important element other than the logos and making your Wheelio seem less sketchy. And for the background color, which is basically the background that the wheel is actually going to be placed on, I really recommend going for white. Now you can make it a different color, but then you have to adjust your original logo that you've plugged in here to be a transparent background rather than a white one. But white, I found, is a very surefire bet. Next is going to be your font color, and this is where I'm going to base it off of the branded field that we've already created for Modern Habitat. You can keep in mind that Modern Habitat is a white website with black text and also a red logo, so I'm going to make sure the font is going to be black, and then I'll actually change the bold text and button color to the same red as this logo right over here for Modern Habitat to give it that continuity. So using the eyedropper tool, I found the exact code for the color of red that it is, and you can just copy and paste that into Wheelio right over here. And it's a little glitchy sometimes, but here it is. And now you can see that's what the bold text and button color has been turned to. Finally, the colorizing the wheel, since we already went with a red button and bold text color, I'm going to go ahead and make the wheel black to give it that contrast while also bringing the Modern Habitat site colors onto this Wheelio. Now let's talk about the discount process. Remember, we're targeting impulse buyers and also impulse buyers that have taken time to spin a wheel. Nothing is going to motivate them more than some sort of excitement or a discount. So what we did is we changed different discount variations. You can see there's 5%, 50%, 10%, 15%, 35%, and 20%. And what we did is we gave it a 100% chance for the 20% off, which is the discount that we're prepared to offer people that spin Wheelio, and then a 0% chance for the other discounts, right? Because we want to protect our margin, and all they have to do is feel the allure of potentially rolling for a very, very high discount. And the way the psychology works on this one is 20% is not the lowest possible option. It's actually right in the middle, and there's psychological theory that supports customers feel like they won something if they at least hit the middle rather than the tail end. So we got to make sure the coupon code that we created in Wheelio is actually registered in Shopify. So there it is. SH20 is 20% off the entire order given by Wheelio, and we made sure that that thing is optimized. So once we get back into here, you can just change all the other messaging to be basically whatever you want to make it. We kept the losing ones pretty standard, and we want to make sure the countdown timer matches that text, right? So if you're going to say 30 minutes, we want to make sure the countdown is turned on, and it's also set to 30 minutes, and the position being at the screen bottom is perfectly fine as well. So make sure you have this feature enabled. And now what we want to do is choose the triggers and placements, and it's good to select on users leave intent, and also to make sure that it's showing on both computers and all devices. We don't want to use this after 15 seconds thing, because leavers intent is super powerful. What it does is actually senses when you're about to leave the website and then chooses to show the Wheelio then and there, whether you're on the phone, maybe you're scrolling back up, or on the desktop and you're moving your cursor towards that X. And we also want to enable the discount coupon to auto apply in cart, so no one has to actually go in manually and type out the discount code for their Wheelio. So now that we've saved these settings, let's take a look at what it looks like. Alrighty, so we're on Modern Habitat. Bam. See how this Wheelio is branded. It looks a lot less sketchy, and it looks like it's definitely a part of this e-commerce business, and I wouldn't feel embarrassed testing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in my email just to make sure that it's gonna work. And here we are. It goes to 20% off, right? And of course, we can do continue and use discount, and you'll see it's showing at the bottom with that countdown timer set at 30 minutes. So what happens if we actually add to cart and decide to check out? Well, the discount code should automatically apply, and let's just see as this thing loads. But, you know, Wheelio is one of my favorite apps. It's so good for collecting emails. It'll definitely boost conversion rate, and make sure you test this on your site.